The day is Wednesday, 24th of September, 2025. Let's do the crossword. Alright, let's see what we've got. Light touches, not sure. Viola Davis, I suspect. I don't know that film, but I do know that actor. Cannonball Adderley's, not sure. Participate in a blindside. I think this would be or either vote or veto, if we're talking about Survivor. One or the other. I'll leave the T there for now. Frequently, a lot, perhaps. Part of a flight. My first thought was step, but that's not quite right, I don't think, when we're talking about flights. So long Oahu, that would be aloha, I would say. Okay, S-A-X, sax. I've never heard of Cannonball Adderley, but sax is certainly an instrument. Botox, okay. Light touches would be dabs, so maybe it is just step, I suppose. I haven't read 54 and 57 across, but I mean, I hope is what fits, and a phrase would be I hope so, so I'll put that in for now. Word aptly hidden in unspoiled enclave begins with E, so Eden. Eden, okay. Unspoiled indeed. Lead into struck or luck. Dumb struck, dumb luck. Let's go with that. Light-headed sorts, I'll come back to that. 6 down, like some tutoring and elder care. In-home, perhaps? In-home tutoring, in-home elder care. I'll leave that in. McDowell, I want to say Annie. I'm not sure why. So I'll do it. Elm, yes. Stately shade provider would be an elm. An elm tree is stately and it provides shade. One who's given many instructions nowadays. Not too sure. My first thought was something like ChatGPT, but I'm not 100% sure. Dominoes have pips, I believe that's what they're called. Okay, so Andy McDowell. Oh yes, Andy McDowell. I forgot. Oh, Groundhog Day. For some reason, my mind immediately thought of Ferris Bueller, and I was like, Andy McDowell wasn't in Ferris Bueller, but she certainly was in Groundhog Day, very much so. Clothing chain that began as a surf shop. Geez, I don't know. Dance craze named for a southern city, the Charleston. I think it's the Charleston. 100 C notes. 10K. Oh, 10. Yeah, it is 10K. That's an interesting one. 16 across, start of a new deal. Not sure. Maine to Spain. East would be the direction. It's almost too obvious there. GPA enhancer would be an easy A. Whoops, easy A. Fashionable time to arrive. It's fashionable to arrive late. I sometimes agree. Sometimes agree. Nobel 2011 Peace Nobelist. Something Johnson Sirleaf. Goodness, I've never heard that name before. One who's given me... Oh, Siri is given many instructions. Doesn't always fulfill them. Possible meaning... Alright. Let's see. With 20 across, I was able to get it pretty quickly. This one, maybe not so much. So I'll come back to that once I've had a chance to take a look at 54 and 57 across. Least populous Canadian province, not too sure. I want to say something like Northwest Territory, but I'm not sure that is a province. So I'll leave it out for now. A hawk carrying a dove in its talons in book 15 of the Odyssey, that would be an omen. That's quite ominous indeed. Prince Edward Island, I'm going to put in PEI, Prince Edward Island. I don't know that it's correct, but I can't help myself. Shocking. Oh my god. OMG. Light-headed swords I thought might be balloon something, but no, I'm pretty satisfied with omen, so I'll leave that there. What's heard exactly twice in a lifetime? Twice in a lifetime. Long eye. Life and time. Both have a long I. The most populous would be Ontario. Great. Spy novelist Dayton, never heard of such a person. Hang in the balance. I'm not too sure there. Let's go back around the edges here. Capsule, perhaps pod. Let's try pod. And then 37 across, used thrifted goods would be used. Business magnate, perhaps a baron, like we talk about oil barons. Let's try that. Future amaryllis, I've never heard of that. Tabs with psychedelic properties would be LSD. Future amaryllis, I mean bull, perhaps? I don't know what amaryllis is. A jazz genre of Cannonball Adderley. There's a lot of Cannonball Adderley happening here. What are jazz genres? I mean, there's things like bebop or smooth jazz as such. No, I can't think of anything right now. The colourful ring-tailed mammals of Asia. They're called red pandas. Are they ring-tailed? Red pandas fits, and I think that's good enough for me. James of The Godfather, that would be James Caan, was in The Godfather as the consigliere. Hang in the balance, still not sure. Worked to learn, that's a little bit too long and abstract for me. Word with double or free, it's also a little bit too abstract. Colleague, associate, yes, associate as a colleague. A witty remark, would this be a jest? No, because the key of Mozart's symphony is probably not in J. Oh, sorry, it's in, yes, okay, J does fit, because I'm not sure why why I got that confused. For some reason I thought it would be like major J. Doesn't even make sense. Okay, jest then could work. Not always described as witty, but I'll leave it here. Sorry, I was just getting distracted by 62 across. At an impasse. Okay, that makes sense. Double or free. So free. No, I'll have to come back to that. Taunt that may follow a failed gullibility test. 59 across. Made you look. Made you something. I do think it's made you something. So I'll keep the YOU here. At least for now. Squealer, look, it could be sow, which is a type of pig, I believe. Put off for now, not sure. UK award, also not too sure. Craft store item, that could be any number of things. I'll need a crossing for that. Swiss cough drop band, I've never heard of such a thing. Thailand used to be called Siam, so I'll put that in. Floor model demo model would be on the floor. We're talking about cars here, I would say, or, well, I guess any number of things. Soft volleyball hits, dinks, is that what they're called? When they just sort of, I'm not quite satisfied with that. The festival at the end of Ramadan would be Eid, one of them, I forget which. The Emerald Isle, so sometimes they say Erin, which apparently is a way of saying Ireland, but sometimes they say Ayr, which is another way of saying Ireland. I don't know which one it is, to be honest, and I've never been quite sure of the different usages. So I'll leave it out for now. One's paying or receiving alimony. Goodness. Alimony is when people get divorced and one of them has to pay for the upkeep of the child, I suppose. 4 letters, though. That really makes things tricky. I'll leave it out. Affectionate sign-off, so it could be like XXX, potentially. Like XOX. It could be any number of combinations. But there's a cross happening here, actually, with these circled letters. I'm wondering if that could help me somehow. Because we've got MIDD, and there's very few words that begin like that, but one of them is middle, so perhaps I'll put that in. AL West team, who's in the AL West, I'm not sure. I'll have to come back to that. Skillful, bit of merchandise, cashless deal, situated above, over. perhaps? Hurdles for... No, okay. Because this would be LSATs. Hurdles for future JDs. This is a law exam. So situated above could be atop. And hey could be psst, to get someone's attention. And then skillful would be adept here. Okay, I'm happy with that. Arrows are Nestle bars filled with tiny bubbles. Bit of merchandise could be wear. And then a swap could be a cashless deal. Okay, it just says C54 across, where they say a gesture depicted by this puzzle's circled letters. Huh. That could mean I hope so. So then fingers crossed. Okay, fingers crossed. By the way, it wasn't sow. Fingers crossed. Yes, I'm satisfied with that. So we have middle and index fingers being crossed here. And so it did begin with an X, but again, could be XOX, XOO, any combination of those. So that does help a little bit though. All right, Swiss cough drop, still don't know. Made you something, thick piece, maybe it isn't made you. Because what could thick piece be here? SU, because I would think slab. You know, something along those lines. Also, squealer, a rat. Yes. Oh, made ya. Okay, it's a little bit more informal than that. Made ya look. And therefore it is slab. UK award, OBE. Okay, like a knighthood. Put off for now would be table. Squealed. Yes, it is a variation because often narked is spelled with a C. Beads you buy at a craft store. Still don't know what this Swiss cough drop brand is, but I think I'll only get that through a cross. Light-headed sword, still nothing there. Okay, I've got a few more letters here. Like the scent of some air fresheners, they are piney. Does that help with 42 across? Hang in the balance, penned. So something is pending. Okay. Spy novelist Dayton. So it wouldn't be Lee because IET doesn't make any sense. Could be Len Dayton. That's a name. Because then that INT makes a bit more sense. Worked to learn interned. Okay. So Ricola. Never heard of that. Light-headed, as in they have blonde hair. Blondes. Lovely. Odyssey figure with many suitors, that would be Penelope. I suppose Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Why not? Yes, but then I'm lie something. Being a possible meaning for fingers crossed. I'm lying. Oh, how did I get 10 here? Oh, 10K. I'm lying. Oh, 10G. Sorry, 100 C notes, not 10. Wait, 100 C notes. Is that 10? Yeah, so it is. Oh, 10K, 10G. It's the same thing. I don't know how I managed to confuse myself there. All right, masonry would be stonework. Okay, so it's XOX. Maybe it was dinks all along. Oh, X's. Yes, I was on the right track. And here it's EIRE, which I will not attempt to pronounce again. And neutralizing serum antitoxin. And, oh, almost at the end. Bulb, I suppose, is bop a jazz genre? So it is. All right. That's Wednesday for you. Let's see, interesting ones. Bop, I've heard of bebop. I haven't heard of just bop. It might be something to look into. Cannonball Adderley is also someone I've never heard of, apparently a saxophone player. A future amaryllis being a bulb. A bulb? I suppose this could be something to do with the life cycle of flowers, where it goes from bulb to amaryllis, I suppose. That's a possibility. Pac Sun being a clothing chain. I've never heard of that ever. So that's a new one. Andy McDowell, Charleston. I'm just trying to find if there were any that particularly tripped me up or may well do in the future. I'm glad I did put in Prince Edward Island. My brain was screaming at me that I had to put it in, and thankfully I did. It all worked out in the end. Let's see, intern, Siam crossed. Where was there? There was one that I just could not get a read on, I think, unless I've already covered them all. Piney, Khan, agent. Oh, double agent or free agent. Yes, okay. So I managed to solve that one without realizing that I had. Because otherwise, yeah, Ricola, I've never heard of that either. So that's a bit of a tricky one. Often with these brands is where I get tripped up, because we don't have these sorts of things in our grocery stores in my country. But if we did, I probably wouldn't notice anyway. So that, I believe, is that. That's Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. Thanks for watching.